but to do it in such a way that no one loses, everyone benefits. Key phrase: life was not designed to give us what we need. Life was designed to give us what we deserve. We do not reap a harvest in the fall because we need it. We reap a harvest in the fall because we deserve it. Not necessarily from a moral standpoint. Of course, there are some moral laws as well, spiritual and moral laws. But just the basic laws that simply say, if you wish to reap, you must plant. So jot this down. Reaping is reserved for the planters. And the reason they reap is because they deserve it. They're the planters. They deserve to reap. Interesting Bible phrase that says, if you keep knocking, you'll find open doors. Good phrase to jot down. If you keep knocking, you'll find open doors. Doors of opportunity. Doors of a chance to meet someone. Doors open for association. Doors open to find someone special. Doors open to find a unique business colleague. If you keep knocking, the phrase says, doors of opportunity are open to those who continually knock. So we don't find open doors of opportunity because we need them. We find them because we deserve them. Only those who knock deserve to find an open door. But the promise is, if you continually knock, you'll find doors of opportunity. It says, if you search, you will find. So make the note, it's good. Finding is reserved for the searchers because they deserve it. Now, at first they may have needed it, but they now know that just needing it is not sufficient. But if they need it, now they must qualify for it. The reason why you're going to be blessed with good ideas this weekend is because you've come searching. You've gotten on an airplane to come searching. Got in your automobile to come searching. You got here searching. Now you're ready to receive. And for those who search, they will find answers. They will find plans, imagination to stir yourself into action for future benefit. So if you search to find a good idea, you must go looking, go searching. You've got to go to church. You've got to go to class. You've got to go to the seminar. You've got to go to the library. You've got to go to the books if you wish to find. Rarely does a good idea interrupt you. Rarely. But if you will search, you will find. So we get not what we need, but we get what we deserve. It says, if you ask, someone has an answer. If you keep asking, the answers belong to you, because by virtue of asking, you have qualified. So we don't get what we need, we get what we deserve. The mother on welfare should be taught in some small manner that hopefully she can begin deserving the welfare check. Not getting it because she needs it, but now starting to get it because she deserves it. If the welfare worker says to Mary, I brought a bucket of paint and a paintbrush, and the next time I come, if the door is painted and the fence here in front is painted, I give you the check for $450. Not that painting the door and painting the fence is worth $450. It's not worth that much, but it is the beginning of the process. So make that note. I want to begin the process of deserving. What would that be? What process should I begin engaging in to deserve good health, to deserve a good relationship, to deserve prosperity, to deserve an enterprise, to deserve the opportunity to build a city? What must I do to begin the process of deserving? So now the welfare worker comes back and the door is painted and the fence is painted. And now Mary gets the $450 to help take care of her children, not because she needs it, but because she's beginning to deserve it. Then the welfare worker thinks of some other project. She said, Mary, if these weeds are gone and this little garden is cultivated, when I come back, Now that the door is painted and the fence is painted, if the weeds are gone and this little garden is cultivated, you get the $450. And step by step, a new life is emerging, learning the process of deserving it, not just needing. We teach our children at home, right? Child says, I need $10. So that language doesn't work here. There's plenty of money here, and the vaults are full. But to say I need $10 is not how you open the vault. So the child says what? Wow, how can I get that $10 that I need? So here's what they learn to say. How could I earn $10? Now the vault opens up. Now the money starts to flow. How could I earn $10? What could I do to earn the money? Not to get the money because you need it. Maybe you need the money. That's, all of us have needs. But here, the key is to figure out how to open the vault, how to open the bank, how to open this unbelievable flow of resources to come our way. And here's the key: to deserve it, not to need it. You can't walk out to the field and say to the field, I need a crop. Here's what the field says. Here's what the ground says. Who is this clown that brings me his need but brings me no seed? So jot that down. Take your seed to the marketplace, not your need. Don't disclose your need to the marketplace, only your willingness. We'll talk about that a little later today. Because the marketplace is not interested in your need, but they are interested in your seed. They're interested in your willingness to work. They're interested in your disciplines. They're interested in your eagerness. They're interested in your vitality and your work ethic. That's what the marketplace is interested in. Not your need, but your seed. Okay. We get what we deserve. Old Testament God says, if you'll move toward me, I'll move toward you. See, that's how you get those occasions to meet God. You must make the move. God could say, you don't move, I don't move. You say, well, that's arbitrary. Well, when you're God, you can make it that way. So, the law says if you wish to receive, now let's talk about enlightened self-interest. If you wish to receive, and we would call the wish to receive self-interest. But if it's enlightened self-interest, here's what it says. I understand that in order to receive, I must give. Receiving is reserved for those who give. Receiving is not reserved for those who need it. It's reserved for those who deserve it. We deserve the receiving by giving. In fact, there's an extraordinary phrase in this little context, and here's what it says. It's better to give than it is to receive. Now, the uneducated person would find that difficult to ponder. Why would it be better to give than it is to receive? So let me give you one of the better phrases for the day. Here it is. Giving starts the receiving process. So of course it's better to give than it is to receive. How much receiving do you wish? You must start the giving process. For me to receive my additional fortunes for the future, not necessarily for the money, because I don't need the money. I take the money, but I don't need the money. But here's what I do need. For someone to say a year from now, 5 years from now, Mr. Rohn, that seminar helped to change my life. And for whatever reason, I was brought here to this place for this time. And later someone says that. See, to receive that kind of thanks, it's unbelievable. Here's what you cannot buy. That kind of thanks. You can't buy it with money. You have to earn it. Now let's expand a little further now. It's called the law of riches and wealth. In our own self-interest, if we wish to be rich and wealthy and prosperous and healthy and all the valuable things we can think of for the human experience, how could we get there? It's understanding the law of enlightened self-interest and the law of deserving. The question was asked in the Bible, how can we be great? What is the key to greatness? Great wealth, great return, great accolades, trophies to put on the mantle above the fireplace. How can we get great respect, great riches, great abundance for ourselves? How can we get that? And the answer was given, and here was the answer: find a way to serve. Find a way to serve the many. So I paraphrase it to read this: service to many leads to greatness. Service to many leads to greatness. Someone says, well, about the best I can do is take care of myself. That's okay. Self-care, has its own reward, but it's very limited. Somebody says, I can't be worried about other people's problems. I got enough problems of my own. That's okay. Self-defense is okay. Self-preservation is okay, but it has a very limited reward. If you wish to change that into abundance, and prosperity, and uniqueness, then here's what you must do: help solve other people's problems. Help find answers for someone else, not just for yourself, but for someone else. And in that kind of service, you now begin the process of greatness. Someone asked the question, how can I be ruler over many? How could I manage a lot of people? How could I be the leader of a vast movement or enterprise? Here was the answer. Nothing wrong with that wish. We call that self-interest of the highest kind. Wishing to be the manager, the ruler, wishing to be presiding over many people. Here was the answer: be faithful when the amounts are small.
Be faithful when the amounts are small. There we go. All right, familia, what's up? Grand Rising. Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody is having a blessed morning. I hope you guys are all feeling so good, so blessed, so aligned. I know I woke up feeling really good today. Last day on tour. I fly back home today, so I'm excited to be here with all of you guys today. Everything works in our favor. Everything is always working in our favor, which is the beauty of it. And we are just so excited for all that is happening for us. All is well. Everything is amazing. We're growing so much. We're learning so much. And, it's beautiful to see the amount of people that, are growing on a day-to-day basis. And I'm just so blessed and so grateful to be here with all of you guys. And man, wrapping up the tour, 55, 56 days in, and we're done. Today is really the last day. I get to fly home today, but yesterday was just such an amazing day. Just from the morning, everything was amazing. I got a chance to have breakfast with one of my sisters, Vern. Always great catching up with her, and got a chance to spend some time with my goddaughter. That was honestly the highlight of my whole entire trip. I'm so grateful. We had a great event here. Met a lot of great people. Watched my brother Alex kill it at his first event. He did a phenomenal job. Such a proud mentor moment. And we had some great tacos at my favorite taco spot with the fam. It was great. And it was funny. Somebody from Mornings with Nano, you guys know her as Warrior Spirit on Mornings with Nano. Did you guys know that she, right after the call yesterday, right after our Mornings with Nano call, since we were talking about risk, did you guys know that she took a flight from Florida to California to come hang out and be at the event? So talk about a risk. Dude, she was in Florida yesterday morning on the call. And then she's at the event in California. Talk about a risk, right? And she comes, she's at the event. We got a chance to hang out. We got a chance to, grab tacos together. We got a chance to chill. And I was like, bro, talk about risk, right? Let's give it up to Warrior Spirit, right? Like she just literally came out. Like she like, you know what? I'm gonna just come out to Cali. I'm gonna come to the event. I'm gonna come show love. And that's kind of dope. Like imagine if right now you're on this call and then right after the call, something tells you, yo, go to California. And that's what she did. Right after the call was done, she packed, she got ready. She took the next flight out to California, and she met me at the event. I mean, we had meeting before, but she met me at the event and we linked up. and we got a chance to grab tacos together. We got a chance to, I got a chance to drive her home, and it was just so dope to have that experience and to know that people are actually taking those risks, man. So, Warrior Spirit, thank you so much. We appreciate you. That was a dope experience. I'm glad I got a chance to say that I experienced that. That was pretty dope to see. But overall, guys, just yesterday in general was just such a phenomenal day, and just great. I literally was telling Alex this. I'm like, bro, yesterday was just everything. Everything worked in my favor yesterday. From breakfast to hanging out with my goddaughter to, hanging out with my goddaughter was one of those moments that, I hadn't seen her in a while. And, to see her was, I always say like, yo, I'm grateful for Dariana. And I've been saying it for a year, but I hadn't seen her because, for whatever reasons it was. And yesterday I finally saw her, and, it just gave me a different level of inspiration, just seeing my goddaughter again. It was almost like it was something that I needed. I needed that. I don't know that feeling. It's a feeling that I needed inside, and it was like something that was missing. And man, let me tell you, I am so motivated, so excited to go out there and do more. Like it's something that, yeah, it's like a fulfillment feeling. It was just something love. It was just so amazing to experience that, fam. So, it's just one of those things that when you're on the road and you're it's just so much business and life and wanting to grow and challenges and everything, and then you see your goddaughter, and it's just, you're like, wow. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it gave me a different outlook on life. It made me appreciate things so much more. And I understand why sometimes, people feel so much love with kids. And it was like, while I was there, I wasn't on my phone, so I was super present. And it was so good to like finally, like, not be on my phone, not check who's texting me, not check Telegram, none of this. It was just me and my goddaughter, and it was so dope to be present with her. And it made me grateful. I don't know if I'm ready for kids just yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to, kids in the next few years here. But that's how my day went. It was amazing. Everything was great yesterday, and I'm looking forward to this call yesterday. Watching also my brother Alex, someone that I watched from right here sitting in this seat. I'm so funny that I'm sitting in his seat right now, but to watch him grow as a mentee was such a proud mentor moment for me, to watch him grow, to watch him go out there and kill that presentation the way that he did. He already looked like a six-figure earner, and it's beautiful because you can tell that all this work that he's put in over the last few months, waking up at 3:30 in the morning every day, is paying off. So overall, just great day for me, guys, and I'm blessed. So enough about that. Just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about my day and how it went yesterday. But let's get into today's topic. Before we do, though, let's practice some gratitude. What is one thing that we are grateful for this morning? I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my mom. I'm grateful for my dad, my little brother, my beautiful goddaughter, Dariana. She's so amazing. I'm grateful for the roof over my head, grateful for my team and all the leaders within the organization, both in Leadership Dynasty and Leadership Academy. I'm grateful for water. I'm grateful for food. I'm grateful for the tacos I had yesterday. I'm extremely grateful for Katie. I'm grateful for the whole Mornings with Nano community. I'm grateful for Jasmine and everything that she's doing for the community. My sister Sana, always being there for us. I'm grateful for my sis Amber. I see you in here, sis. Can't wait for us to spend New Year's together. That's gonna be lit. Grateful for just everything, fam. Just so amazing, and everything that's amazing in life, we are grateful for. Okay, so let's get right into this call. So I was gonna do the call on the 10 human victories, but what I realized was that I never took notes. I never got the physical notes for the 10 human victories. I remember I actually did the training off the book. And because I don't have the book on me right now, I wouldn't be able to run that training. So I'm going to run that training more when I get back home. I could maybe run it tomorrow if you guys want, but I don't have the book with me. So I remember the last time I did do that training, I did it from the book. I did it directly from the book. So um, we'll run that when I get back. But today I wanted to talk about, what motivates us, as leaders, because I know we've been talking about being leaders and how that all works. So I wanted to talk about what are the motivations that, keep us going. What is it that, drives us on a day-to-day basis? So we're going to be talking about the 7 motivators of a leader. Now, before we can continue, okay, we got to make sure that we understand what motivation is and what the definition of it is. Okay, because a lot of people sometimes, we talk about motivation, and I want everybody to understand something about motivation. Okay, motivation fades. Okay, motivation is something that gets you going, but dedication is what keeps you going. So I want everybody to understand this. Okay, motivation gets you going, but dedication keeps you going. That's important that you understand that. Yes, dedication and discipline keeps you going. So, for example, a lot of people can call Mornings with Nano a motivational call because, yes, Mornings with Nano can motivate you to go out there and be great. Okay, motivate you to go do your morning routine, motivate you to want to grow into a better version of yourself. Okay, and I can inspire you, and you could jump off this call and you can be motivated, all right, to want to make a change for a week. But remember, that is just for the week. But what is it that's going to keep you going once that motivation fades? Because the motivation does fade. So what's going to keep you going when the motivation fades? Okay, so the only thing that can keep you going during that time is discipline, dedication. Do you really want it? Okay, shout out to my brother Matt Gribby. Inspiration without action is mere excitement. There you go. We need to get my boy Gribby one more time in. First Friday of every month. We may need you this week, bro. Talk to me. But I like what he said though. He said, let me repeat it one more time. He said, inspiration without action is mere excitement. And that's the truth. It's mere excitement. So we got to understand that motivation can get us going, and we need motivation. Trust me, we all need it. But what is it that's going to keep us going? So this training that I have for you guys here today is the motivations of a leader. Okay, and every leader has different motivations. Some do it for certain things, and today we're going to talk about all the different types of motivations, and you're going to realize which one is the ones that motivate you the most. Okay, so maybe one thing that motivates you may be the next, may not be the same thing that motivates the next person. But what I want you to realize is, okay, this motivates me, but it's also good to understand what motivates your people. Because remember, you have a team, and the same things that motivate Nano may not be the same things that motivate, someone else. Okay, and I think that that's important. I also want to give a huge shout out to my brother Skyler. Skyler actually got me this chain yesterday. This little chain, it's pretty dope if you look at it. It's a little gold chain, little gold rope with a crystal wrapped around it, and the crystal is citrine. Pretty dope. Shout out to Skyler, man. He definitely left me with an impression of increase. I was telling the people that on the way back, I'm like, yo, he definitely left me with an impression of increase by that. So Skyler's the man. Shout out to Skyler, man. If you guys need anything, reach out to Skyler. He really good people. Um, but let's talk about the 7 motivations of leaders, okay, and how that works. All right. So number 1, the biggest motivator that we all have, number 1 is our purpose. Okay, our purpose is the biggest motivator that we have. Now, let me read this to you guys. Purpose. Leaders want to do what they were created to do. By far, the strongest motivator I've seen in people is purpose. The human spirit comes alive when it finds a cause worth fighting for. Okay, you got to understand that when you find something that you are purposeful about, it'll change everything for you. He said, and this is something that I quote from John C. Maxwell, the strongest motivator I've seen in people is purpose. Now, Nano, how does someone find their purpose? Well, you got to think about it. One of our human purposes on life in life is to serve, become the best version of ourselves, grow to our full potential. So, for example, I found my purpose through Mornings with Nano, even before I knew what my purpose was. So, for me, if you think about it, if we go back to number one and we read what it said purpose. Leaders want to do what they were created to do. By far, the strongest motivator I've seen in people is purpose. The human spirit, it comes alive when it finds something that is worth fighting for. Okay, my spirit comes alive every morning because I fight for your freedom. I fight for you guys to know the information that I know. I fight that you guys every day get closer to your creator, and that you guys actually use these secrets that I'm teaching you on a day-to-day basis to become a better versions of yourself. I literally fight every day for this because I want you guys to realize and become aware of what I became aware of that changed my life, because these were the things that changed it for me. I wanted to change it for you. So I found my purpose in helping other people. I found my purpose in becoming the best version of myself. But I also find my purpose in helping others become the best versions of themselves. And that's something that fulfills my heart more than any amount of money that I made, more than anything that I bought myself, any clothes, jewelry, whatever it is. If there's anything that fills my heart up, is helping other people realize their full potential. Okay, there's nothing better than that feeling, than somebody coming up to you, like Jim Rohn said, right? There's nothing better than somebody coming up to you and telling you, Nano, thank you. Thank you for changing my life. Thank you for never giving up. Thank you for doing those calls. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because at the end of the day, like Jim Rohn said, that's a thank you that you can't buy. That's a thank you that you got to earn. You got to earn that thank you. So finding your purpose is so key, because unfortunately, many people lack purpose. They lack purpose. Many people. Okay, and they aren't living for something greater than themselves. They're just living for themselves. Let me repeat that again. Most people are lacking purpose and they aren't living for something greater than themselves. They're living for themselves. A lot of people are just living for themselves, but they're not living for something greater than themselves. So if you're on this call, you got to understand that if you really want to live an abundant life, you got to find your purpose. What are you truly here for? What are you doing today that is larger than you, that is larger than your bills, larger than, you know, going to hanging out this weekend with your friends? What is larger than what you're doing right now? That's what I want you guys to do. Figure out what is it that is larger than you. And in reality, is the service to many. What are you doing to make this world a better place? One of the regrets that we talked about yesterday was, you know, you left this earth, without the realization that you could have made a bigger impact and left this world better than you found it. You don't want to be that person. So for a lot of you guys that are probably wondering here, well, Nano, what's my purpose? I don't know what my purpose is. I haven't figured out my purpose. You don't let me tell you something. You'll figure it out. Eventually, like I said, that was a question that I had. But the question the whole time was inside of me, and I was already living in my purpose. It's just sometimes you are just not aware that you're living in your purpose. Okay. And you need to know that. So if you're someone that's on this call and you're like, Nano, man, I don't know my purpose. I don't know what my life purpose is. I don't know what I should be doing. Trust me, it's there. You just haven't worked on yourself enough. You haven't done enough deep work to realize what your true purpose is. But when I started to do the deep work, when I started to work on myself, when I started to do the meditations and those morning routines, and I started to realize and I started to grow and my conscious level grew, I realized that I was living in my purpose. I realized that my purpose was bigger than me, because I don't, if it was about me, I would have stayed sleeping. Think about it. If it was about me, I would have stayed in bed. I'm like, man, I need to get my rest. I've been traveling for almost 60 days. I need to get rest. But no, what do? I wake up. No matter what happens, I wake up. It could have been that we fell asleep at 6 a.m. I got to be up at 7 out here in the West Coast because it's bigger than me. There's somebody on this call that needed to hear this message today. So it's not about me. It's not about me. So you always guys got to remember that there's a purpose that you got to live on this earth. And that's what keeps some of you guys going. It could be, like I said, serving. It could be becoming the best version of it. You know what? Your kids can be your purpose. And I'm glad that Patricia said that as well. Your purpose can also change per season. Sometimes people's, purposes change due to certain seasons. Okay, that's important. So you want to make sure that, number one, that's one of the biggest motivators, and you'll realize who on your team and who around you is, their motivation is purpose. You'll know the people that fall in love with helping people, the people that are all about just others and others, and they just always want to be, helping other people. That their purpose is that, and you'll realize that. So that's the first motivation of a leader. Okay. Number two. Okay. Number two is relationships. This one is important right here. The second motivator of a leader is relationships. Leaders want to go and do things with other people. Okay. Some people just love building relationships. Maxwell says, one of my great pleasures in life is getting to do something that matters with people who matter to me. This is more than just working with a team or increasing effectiveness by partnering with others. The partnership principle says working together increases the odds of winning together. So for me, I would also say that relationships is something that motivates me. Just on this tour, I've met so many amazing people, and I've built closer relationships with so many amazing people. People that I knew, people that I was aware of who they were, but we never got a chance to share a moment. We never got a chance to have a conversation. We never got a chance to, experience certain things. And we were able to, build some amazing relationships. Okay. When they say that teamwork truly does make the dream work, believe it. Relationships inspire me, and they help you believe more than you can ever imagine. Think about how many dope relationships you have. And I'll tell you guys what, I've built more amazing relationships with strangers than I ever thought I would. People that I just met a year ago are more family to me than people that I've known my whole life. Think about that. Sometimes they say, my friend, one of my boys used to always say this. He said, Nano, sometimes your day twos become your day one. Listen to that. Sometimes your day twos become your day ones. And that's facts. And that's so facts. People that I met 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, are like literally like brother and sister to me. Relationships are so important, and this is a motivator for me. I would truthfully say that relationships will definitely be one of the things that keeps me going as well, because let me tell you what, when you're in the business that I'm in, network marketing, for example, okay, you build some really good relationships. And obviously in network marketing, there's also the good side, but there's also the grimy side of it as well. The side when people want you to join other companies, and people want to recruit you. It's kind of like sports. You see a good player in another team, and you want that player to come play for your team. And I've had multiple situations where people from other companies and people in other businesses were like, man, Neno's talented. Let's see if we can get him from that company to this company. Okay. And they would offer me deals and offer me opportunities to join them and offer me opportunities to sit down with them and even listen to them. And I would always tell them, like, bro, there's nothing that you can offer me to make me go over there, because at the end of the day, I'm stuck here. And it's not because of the money, because I'm sure you guys could probably pay me. I'm sure that you guys have a great business plan. I'm sure that you guys have a lot of things, but the relationships that I've built, I can never do that. Okay. The relationships that I've built, okay, is something that I cherish forever. You could offer me $1 million right now, and I wouldn't take it. You could offer me $1 million cash, put it on the table for me, and be like, here's $1 million, switch over to our company. And I wouldn't take it. Trust me, I've had it happen. You know why? Because my relationship to the individuals in this company is more valuable to me than any type of money. Because money comes and goes. Money comes and goes. I could take that million and then blow it in a year, but that relationship will be gone. You see, for me, loyalty is everything, you know? And I would never do that to people who I've built incredible relationships with. Okay. And trust me, I understand that relationships are not always perfect. Okay. I haven't always been happy with the people that I've built relationships with. Everything wasn't always sunshine and rainbows with the people I've built relationships with. But guess what? At the end of the day, I will never, ever, ever do those things. And that's just me. I don't know how people do it. I've seen it happen way too many times, but I truly don't know how people do it. And for me, it's one of those things where I stay solid where I'm at. Okay. So I'm super, super solid. So you can't talk to the person if they leave. Nah, I talk to everybody. I love them on the way in, on the way out. I love them on the way in, on the way out. Believe me. I have, as a matter of fact, I have people that are still family to me, even though they're not in my business. Okay. So there's a difference. There's a difference between somebody leaving, and then there's a difference between somebody leaving and trying to end you on the way out. That's a difference. And I need people to understand that, because I saw somebody say something on Instagram here. I talk to everybody. I have friends of mine that, run successful businesses that we actually make money together. They're not in my business though. They're not in my business anymore. But guess what? They left with respect. Hey, I don't think this is for me, bro. This is what it is right here. I'm going to be running up this business. I said, bro, run it up. I'm here for you. Let me know how I can help in any kind of way. Because they left with respect, with integrity, with communication. But understanding, and I'm still loyal to that person, even though they're not in my business, because I'm loyal to the relationship we built, because there was respect, there was integrity there. But when people try to leave and people try to do you wrong on the way out and try to destroy you and do their best to want to do something to bring you down, it's not cool like that. And I don't respect that. I've never respected that. So, there's a difference between the two. I'm not going to be loyal to somebody that is that's trying to destroy something I'm building for my team and for my family. That's not somebody you're loyal to. That's somebody that showed their true character. And I don't want that person around me anymore, because I've had those things happen. I've had people who've left with respect. I've had people who've left trying to end it because they were just salty about the whole situation. I've had people leave. Listen to this. I've had people leave my business, talk down on me, go to another business, claim that business was so much better, and then 2 months later, that business gets shut down. And now you don't even hear about them on Instagram, because they don't even know where to put their face at. They don't even know. They don't even want to show their face, because it's like, I told you. You don't listen though. Like, I try to tell you, bro, you're making a mistake All those things are get rich quick schemes. It's a cash grab. Just trust me, bro. It's a shiny object. Not everything that glitters is gold. So on and so forth. Nah, bro. I got it. We're gonna make all this money over here. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, bro, wish you the best, my G. 2 months later, thing is gone. Now they don't even post on Instagram anymore. Because you did things wrong. You burned bridges. There's no point of burning bridges over business. Relationships is what keeps the business flowing. But we forgive them, and I love them the same. Okay, we love them the same because that's what it's all about. Okay, we love them the same, but relationships is key. And one thing I'm gonna tell you guys is this, and before we continue to the next thing, if you ever get a choice, okay, between money and a relationship, always pick the relationship. If the relationship is solid, though, if you get a choice to pick money and relationship, I'm gonna tell you right now, always pick the relationship if the relationship is solid. If you have to question the relationship, then that's a different story. But if your relationship is solid with that individual, stay with the relationship because it'll always mean more long term. Because the money, you could lose it, but that person will ride for you always. And that's the key. I'm telling you. You want to have people that are going to ride with you because there's not many people that are going to ride with you during this journey. I'm telling you. A lot of people will tell you they'll ride, but this journey gets hard. This journey gets dark. This journey gets difficult. And only very few people will ride with you through that whole entire journey. So you got to make sure that you have good people by your side at all times. Okay. So number 2 is relationships. Okay. Number 3 is autonomy. Okay. Autonomy. Let's see who we got here on the IG live with me. Who's on IG live with me? Let's see. Number 3 is autonomy. Man, this never clicks. Gio, my boy. My boy Gio's on here with me. Bepe's on here with me. Let's go. Super blessed and grateful for all of you guys. Autonomy, right? What is autonomy? Leaders want the freedom to control their lives. Okay, leaders want the freedom to control their lives. That's what autonomy is. And this is what John C. Maxwell said, right? He said, over the years, I've had the privilege of speaking to people in many direct sales organizations all around the world. He says, I always enjoy because their enthusiasm is off the charts. Depending on the group and location, their products may be different and the cultures of the countries where they live may be unique. But they all had one thing in common. They love having freedom. Freedom to choose their business path, freedom to make their own decisions and how they work, and freedom to determine their personal potential. So autonomy is leaders want the freedom to control their lives. We all want freedom. Think about it. Some people work for money. Some people work for purpose. Others work for relationships. Others do it for the freedom. In a way, we kind of all do it for the freedom, but it's just which one is the biggest motivator. I know some of you guys on here want that freedom. You know how awesome it feels? Guys, I don't know autonomy. Yeah, just like that, Vanessa. I don't think you guys know how good it feels to have the freedom to control. The way I have the freedom to control my life is amazing because I was always under the impression that in order for me to live the life that I'm living right now, I had to work a good job. And then, you know, what's the most amazing part? I'm like, if I work a job, I remember I used to tell myself, I'm like, man, I'm not going to be able to travel as much. I'm not going to be able to, live the life I want to live. And, with my business, I can pick up and go anytime I want. I can build this business with my friends. I can travel the world. I can make as much money I want. I can expand. I can do whatever I want and make a ton of money. Like, I'm like, yo, why more people don't do this? Like, now that I do this like full time and, I've been able to create so much success for myself. Thank you, God. I don't understand why more people don't do this. Why more people are not doing this? Because it's like, yo, this freedom is amazing. The freedom to travel whenever you want, the freedom to buy whatever you want, the freedom to do anything that you want at all times. Like, I don't think you guys understand how much at peace and how much love and how much fulfillment I feel in my heart to live like this. And I'm not saying it to to make you guys feel like, oh, I'm better than you. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to remind you guys, yo, I was in your shoes. I've been there before, but I've worked on myself so much. And I know what it's like to have that fear. And I know what it's like to take those risks. And I know what it's like to build it up and start from zero and build it back up and have it been taken down. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, there is nothing more valuable and more of a fulfilling feeling than having the freedom to do what you want when you want. Knowing that tomorrow, if I want to, I could literally cancel my flight right now and take the next flight out to Costa Rica and go stay on an Airbnb on the beach and only eat natural foods while still being able to run my business. That if I wanted to send my mom, here, mom, here's $1,000, for the bills. Here, take that. If I wanted to go buy myself a nice shirt, I can buy the nice shirt. If I wanted to go eat myself a $200, $300 steak, I can go have that $300 steak. If I wanted to go give a certain amount of money to charity, I can do that with no problem and still have more than enough left over. That freedom, no debt, no problems, just complete peace. It's priceless, fam. It's priceless. It truly is. The feeling that I get on a day-to-day basis from this life is amazing. But guess what, guys? I worked for it. And it didn't come overnight. I'm 5 years in. I'm 5 years in. And it wasn't like that year one, year two, year three, right? It just started to happen. But guess what? It's because, like Melissa said in the chat box, I've been paying the price. I've paid the price. I've struggled. I've been through the ups. I've been through the downs. Everything that you guys are going through, I've also gone through them, but I faced it head on. I worked my butt off every day too. And think about it. We're not even there yet. We're not even scratching the surface yet. We haven't even accomplished 20% of what we're going to actually do. So if I feel like that now, imagine a year from now, imagine 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road, how we're going to feel. I can't wait. But leaders want the freedom to control their lives. All leaders do, right? Type a 3 in the chat box if you want that freedom to control your life. Like, you are in full control of your life. Like, full control. Nobody controls you at all. Not a job, not a family member, not a boss. Nobody controls you. You are in full control. Nobody controls your pay. Nobody controls your retirement. Nobody controls when you get to go on vacation. Nobody controls the amount of clothes that you get to buy. You are in full control. You and God. Melissa, I love that. You and God are in full control. That's what we want. Not having to ask for a holiday off. I feel that, Grisel. I feel that. That freedom is something that is unbelievable when you actually sit down and think about it. That's the best freedom, because you don't have to depend on somebody else to go and on a vacation. You don't have to ask for days off to go on a vacation. See how that works? That's you're being controlled there. Okay? Because you have to actually wait for somebody else to give you a day off for you to go on vacation. You got to wait for somebody else to pay you in order for you to pay your bills and provide for your family. Okay? That's not how we want to live as leaders. Remember, if people want to be employees, that's fine. I get it. That's absolutely fine. But for my leaders on this call, I know that you guys don't want that. I know for my parents on this call, I know that you would rather be at home enjoying every moment with your kids, but instead, sometimes you got to be at work and you got to dedicate those hours because you got to put food on the table for some. And I get that and I understand that, but think about how amazing the freedom would be for you to be able to do the things that you want when you want at whatever time you want because you are a leader who's been able to create massive success for others. That's what this is about. You got to understand that we as leaders need the freedom to control our lives. But in order for us to gain that freedom, we have to work towards that freedom. Freedom isn't given, is earned. The freedom that I have today was earned, and it took work and it took sacrifice and it took dealing with a lot of adversities and it took so much effort and so much energy for me to get to where I'm at today. That's what it took. But we all want that freedom. So we got to work towards that. And if you're in a position right now where you're working towards it, keep working towards it. I believe in you. You're going to do it. There's no doubt in my mind that you're not going to do it. It's just a matter of us now doing it. That's all it is. You know, somebody told me something once that really broke me inside. And you know, for me, as you guys know, my mom is someone like I love my parents both, but you know, as a guy, you know, I'm a mama's boy. So for me, my mom is something that's very sacred to me. And I went to this event once and somebody told me, Neno, doesn't it bother you that you have another man telling your queen when she could go to lunch, how much money she gets paid, when she could take off, paying her minimum wage? Doesn't that hurt you, bro? That your mom, your queen is being told by another man that doesn't even care about her to do this, pay that, take break here, do lunch here. That doesn't break you, bro? And I'm like, bro, yes, it does. And when he told me that, I know why he was doing it too. When he told me that, it was a mentor of mine. He was telling me that. And when he told me that, I was like, damn, I appreciate you telling me that because what he was doing was he was doing it to push me because he knew how much my mom meant to me. And at the time, I wasn't going as hard as I was supposed to go. I wasn't grinding. I was kind of like I was off. If I'm honest, I wasn't grinding. I wasn't working. So when he told me that, I was like, you know what? Say less. You absolutely right. You are absolutely right, bro. I have been slacking. I haven't been giving my 100%. And I remember that after he told me that, I went so hard because it gave me such, like Veggie said in the chat, it gave me such deep perspective on things. Like it just fueled me inside. And I was like, bro, you're so right. And it gave me a different level of motivation, a different level of fuel to want to go out there and do that because it's true what he said. Yes, he said it to motivate me. Yes, he said it to fuel me, but it's also true when you put it in retrospect what he's really saying. And that just lit me up like a Christmas tree. I was ready to go out there and do whatever it took. So that was number 3, autonomy. Okay? Autonomy is the freedom to control their lives. Number 4, leaders get motivated by progress. Number 4 is progress. Yo, there's something, I'll be honest with you guys. There's nothing better than progress, honestly. I know, for example, somebody like Alex, you know, the individual's house that I'm staying at, I know that one of the things that motivates him outside of his purpose and his kids and his family and all of that is the progress that he's making. He sees the growth in himself. He sees it every single day. He sees himself growing daily. He sees himself 1% better every day. There's nothing better than that. Type a 1 in the chat box if you are excited and you are happy about the progress that you've made this year. Put a 1 in the chat box if you are excited and if you are very, very blessed and grateful for the progress that you've made this year. Whether it be a little bit of progress, a lot of progress, midway progress, right? You are excited about the progress that you've made. I'm so excited about all the progress I've made. I've made so much progress. So much progress. I've read so many more books. I've become so much better. I've learned so much. Progress, progress, progress. If you guys would have saw who I was 5 years ago and you see who I am today, it's like night and day. Completely different person. So much progress. We were driving yesterday and we were listening to Jim Rohn, and Jim Rohn starts talking about, if you don't make any changes, 5 years from now, you'll be the exact same person that you are today. If you don't decide to change you as a person. My boy Yan, appreciate you, my brother. I see your progress as well, bro. Don't think it goes unnoticed, my G. But yesterday, I was listening to Jim Rohn and he said, yo, in 5 years, you can either choose to be better or you can choose to be the same. And that's going to be based on the choices that you make today. If you want things in your life to change, you have to change. And if not, 5 years from now, things will be the exact same thing. And then when I look back, I was like, man, let me look back 5 years. 5 years ago, I started. And to think that, like, yo, 5 years ago when I got started, I was asking my mom for money on getting started with this business. Like, I was asking my mom for money to get started in this business. And 5 years later, I'm spending, $25,000 on a tour to travel the world and impact people. Look at the difference. I went from asking my mom for $20 to investing multiple 5 figures into a tour to travel the world and help other people. See how that works? Look at the progress I've made. Look at the progress you guys have made. I went from being somebody that never read any books to having over 80 books under my belt. See how that works? I went from somebody that used to be scared to speak in public to speaking in front of 10,000 people. See how that works? I went from not being able to lead people to leading thousands of people. My progress motivates me. I'm always in it. I never stop because I'm so grateful for the progress that I'm making every single day. I went from being somebody that barely had a relationship with God to now having a great relationship with God and still growing it. It's progress. The progress motivates me. The progress keeps me going. I'm not worried about the results. Too many people focus too much on the results, the physical results. And when they don't see the results, they let those results affect them so much that they never keep going. Bro, I'm motivated by my progress. I'm motivated by my relationships, the autonomy, the purpose. This is the stuff that gets me. Okay. That's number 4. Number 5 is mastery. Okay. Number 5 is mastery. Leaders want to excel at their work. They want to excel. They want to excel at their work and for themselves. Man, mastery is one of my goals that I write down daily. I am so happy and grateful now that I am self-mastery. I write it down every day. Now that I am self-mastery, I've mastered myself. I've mastered my mind. I mastered my emotional intelligence. I mastered my physical body. I mastered my diet. I mastered myself as a person. I mastered it. For some of us, is that. It's a challenge, to become a master. It takes years. Yeah, mastery is number 5. It takes years, to master things. It does take years. But guess what? We got to put the work in. We got to put that pain in. Okay? And it's important that every single one of you guys works on yourselves. Remember, you can't become a master of something. It is said, and I love Vanessa brought it up in the chat, you need to dedicate at least 10,000 hours to become a master. So 10,000 hours. It's a lot of time. Because think about it like this. In just retrospect, let me just put some things into perspective for you. Okay. Let's say you're doing 2 hours a day, morning routine. Let's say we need to get to 10,000 hours to be a master of a morning routine. Okay. So if you're doing 2 hours a day times 7, okay, that's 14 hours a week. Times 4, that's 56 hours a month. Times 12, okay, that's 672 hours a year. So think about it. You're not even at 1,000 yet. You're not even at 1,000 yet. So let's see real quick. Let's do 10,000 divided by 672. It's almost 15 years. Almost 15 years of working on yourself daily for you to, if we're putting it by the numbers, no one ever knows when you'll be a master specifically, but the numbers say that in order for you to become a master at something, you need to dedicate 10,000 hours. You have to dedicate 10,000 hours to a specific topic or whatever it is. So if you really sit down and think about it, and that's if you're doing it 2 hours every day, 7 days a week. Okay, so let me make sure I make that very clear. Okay, 2 hours every single day for 15 years. That's when you'll be able to become a master of self. I'm not even I've been 5 years with entrepreneurship, but with like working on myself, I'm probably like 3.5 years in. 3.5, I would say 3 years solid, 3 years pushing maybe half, 3.5. Yeah. Think about that. When you put that into perspective, guys, some of us need so many more years. That's why I be telling people, I'm like, bro, I'm not thinking about right now. I'm not thinking 1 year, 2 years. Let's say if I do 3. So let's say for me, I do 3. So let's say I usually do 3 hours a day. So 21 hours a week times 4 is 84 times 12. Okay, so that's 1,000 hours. If you do 3 hours a week, it's different. 3 hours a day is different because 3 hours a week, 3 hours a day, if you do that every day for a year, it's 1,000 hours, about 1,008 hours. So that puts you at about 10 years, okay, of how fast it can happen for you. Okay, now obviously we don't do it every day and things happen and so on and so forth, but I think I still need maybe another 10 years before I can really get to where I want to get to in terms of mastery of self, of nano, mastery of my emotions, mastery of my mind, mastery of my diet, mastery of all of this. But we need money. We need to get to these places. Think about it. I'm going to have a private chef in my house. Okay, eventually I'm going to get to the point where I'm investing $1 million into my body, just like LeBron James does. I want to live till as much as I can. I want to be 40, 50 years old and look like I am right now. Look 20 years old. Look 25 years old. But we need money for that. Think about it. You know how much money you need to be investing $1 million into your body? And I'm not just talking about the highest of quality foods. Like when I eat and my family eats, we're only going to eat the highest quality food. The reason why I don't want to have kids yet is because I'm not going to have kids until my foundation and my empire is built. My kids are going to come into this world and they're going to have the best chefs, the highest vibration that you could ever imagine. Everything. I'm going to get everything, facial massages, everything, you name it. I'm going to invest millions into my body, 6 figures minimum into my body. And not only for mine, but for my family's body as well. Organic, high vibration. I'm going to eat all the BS now, whatever. But I'm telling you, after a certain age, that stuff is all going to stop. Stuff is all going to stop. I'm going to work. Get those 5-star treatments in Switzerland. Things that if you don't have money, you can't get. Okay? So you got to be motivated by the mastery. Damn, my phone died. Got to be motivated by the mastery. Number 6 is recognition. Okay, we got 2 more and we're done. Number 6 is recognition. Something that motivates leaders is recognition. Leaders want others to appreciate their accomplishments. Leaders want others to appreciate their accomplishments. They say recognition is something babies cry for and men die for it. Recognition is so important, fam. Everyone desires to be recognized and praised and appreciated. Everyone. It's a desire by everybody. As you lead and motivate others, never forget that. Everybody deserves to be recognized, praised, and appreciated. Everybody, every single one of us. We should all be recognized, praised, and appreciated for our hard work. And that's the truth. People wanna feel important. You got to recognize not only yourself but others. Yesterday when we were listening to Jim Rohn said something important. He said, "Yo, when you write your goals down and you accomplish your goals, celebrate, recognize yourself, throw a party. Like, be grateful that you accomplish it, because sometimes no one is gonna celebrate you, fam. You know how many times I accomplished things and people didn't even celebrate it. And if I didn't celebrate myself, if I didn't go treat myself to a nice dinner, it wouldn't have happened. And sometimes the people that you think are going to celebrate you are the ones that don't. The ones that you look for to celebrate you are the ones that don't even send you a message. Those be the hard pills to swallow right there. And you know what's the craziest part? It'd be the ones closest to you. It'd be the ones closest to you. So what I say is, yo, learn to recognize yourself. Learn to appreciate yourself. Learn to praise yourself. That's something I can tell you on this journey. Because let me tell you something. On this journey, because remember this, and I know you guys have heard this multiple times. What do they always say? People want to see you do good, but what? Finish it for me in the chat box. People want to see you do good, but what? Let's see who knows how it goes as I take this sip of water. People want to see you do good, but never better than them. So when people start to see you doing better than them, trust me, there's going to be people that don't celebrate you. I promise you that. They won't. Because it'll hurt them to celebrate you. And that's the truth. And I've seen it firsthand. I didn't think, I used to hear that thing and then until I had to live it. You ever hear lyrics or you ever hear someone say something and then you start to live the quotes and the lyrics themselves, and you're like, yo, this stuff is real. Like, it's true. Like, they don't want to see me do good. Like, now that I'm doing better than them, they don't even reach out to me no more. So it's one of those things, guys, that you got to learn how to appreciate yourself. They'll be front row to watch you fail, but they'll be nowhere to be found when it's time to celebrate you. Remember that. And that's the truth. People will be front row to watch you fail, but they will be nowhere to be found when it's time to celebrate you. And that's the unfortunate truth. But that's why it's so important that you love yourself. That's why it's so important. Love you. Make sure that you recognize you. Now, when you do get recognized by others, love those people. Appreciate those people. And don't take it personal if somebody that was supposed to celebrate you doesn't celebrate you. Because it just says a lot about who they are, and they expose their character right there and then. And that's just a sense of character that you just know that you don't want those people in your circle. When you win, pay attention to who claps. That'll tell you a lot about who's really there for you. Always remember that. Don't forget I told you guys that. Let that be something that you take with you for life. When you win, pay attention to who claps and who doesn't. Pay attention. I promise you, you'll learn a lot from when you win. Next time you win big, pay attention to who actually claps, who celebrates you, who doesn't. Don't take nothing personal though, because at the end of the day, people do go through things, and people are going through things and they just forget, and sometimes people wasn't seeing it. But just pay attention. Keep it there. Love everybody the same regardless. But just pay attention to who actually claps, who's actually genuinely happy for you, who turned their face and everything. I realize all of that stuff. All of that stuff, I realize it. So number 6 is recognition. And then last but not least, number 7 is the one that we always talk about, is money. Okay. People are motivated by money. Leaders want to be financially secure, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be financially secure. Okay. Now, do I think that that should be the biggest motivator? For some, it is. Okay. But what I realize is that it can be a motivation for some, and it can be something that you want, but eventually that motivation is going to change. Because I talked to Alex Morton, I talked to Jason Brown, I talked to Matt, I talked to all my rich friends, right? And they always tell me, they said, yo, when I started, the money was what motivated me. But now it's the impact that motivates me, the relationships, the freedom. Because when you don't have money, money motivates you. If you don't have money, money is going to motivate you. See how that works? So when you don't have money, money is the motivator. But when you have money, the only thing that's going to keep you going is your purpose, your relationships, your need to want to get recognized. Think about it. There's multi-millionaires out there. There's multi-millionaires out there, okay, that have successful businesses that don't need to work a job ever again in a day in their lives. But guess what? They still do it because they want to get recognized. They still do it because what? They want to have somebody to impact. They want to be able to have that freedom. They already been having that freedom, but everybody's different. And something that I've learned is this, fam, and I'll tell you guys what, I had I can't remember when was it that I saw it, but I saw this quote that said, I wish that we could give everybody money so that they can see that money isn't everything. I can't remember. I remember seeing it on Instagram, I think it was. So one of the celebrities said, "Yeah, I wish we could give everybody money in the world and give them all the money that they want so that they could see that money isn't everything." And that is such a true statement. It's such a true statement. It is such a true statement. I'm on number 7 now. We're talking about money. 6 was recognition. 7 was money. And it's true. Now I wouldn't say I have all the money in the world and all of this stuff, but I've been able to gain a good amount of success with myself financially. And I've also been around a lot of success. And I realized that is not everything. Money just helps you do more of what you wanted to do, but it doesn't fulfill you as much as you guys think it will. Okay, so we want financial freedom because think about it. At the end of the day, in order for us to buy those houses, those cars, in order for us to retire and go to these places, it takes money. But there should be something bigger than the money that motivates you and keeps you going. Okay, and for me, that's my purpose. For me, is the relationships. If I were to say out of the 7 motivators of today, if I were to pick 2 that push me the most, okay, I would say 3. I would say it would be purpose, number 1. I would say relationships, number 2, and mastery, number 3. Those would be my top 3 right there. I would say purpose, relationships, and mastery. would be my top 3 motivators out of the 7. Okay, because those 3 help me get the money, help me get the recognition, help me get the freedom, and help me get everything else. Now, what are the top 3 for you? Type them in the chat box for me. Out of the 7 we went over today, what would you guys say are the top 3? Let me not let this thing die right here again. Oops. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get this set up for all of you guys. Let me know in the chat box. What would be the top motivators for you guys if you guys can pick? Let me see. What would be the top 3 motivators? Autonomy, progress, mastery. I love that. Autonomy, mastery, relationships, purpose, mastery, autonomy. Let me see. Anybody on Instagram? Anybody? Autonomy, relationships, purpose, purpose, relationships, mastery. 1, 4, and 5. That's also smarter to do, the numbers. Top 3 for me are purpose, relationships, and mastery. That's beautiful, Mike. Purpose, progress, and autonomy. There we go. Purpose, relationships, and autonomy. Purpose, relationships, mastery. I see a lot of autonomy, and that's awesome. That's beautiful. See, freedom is something we all want. Freedom is something that we all really, really appreciate. We all really do. Let me see on Instagram. We got purpose, relationships, recognition. Yes, recognition is so important. Recognition is so important. That's beautiful, man. I'm glad. I'm so glad. And this is what motivates us, fam. And this is something that now you guys can use to realize what motivates certain people. Because once I learned this motivations training from John C. Maxwell, it made me realize who on my team was motivated by what. I knew which ones were motivated by money. It made me realize who was motivated by purpose. It made me realize who was motivated by freedom, motivated by recognition. And now you know how to motivate those individuals. You know how to build that relationship with those individuals, right? For the individuals that are motivated by relationships, building a closer relationship with those people is important. For those that are motivated by money, putting them on to money plays, it's important to keep that relationship growing. If they're motivated by purpose, putting them in a position to serve their purpose, is something that motivates them. Finding out what motivates them and feeding that motivation is so important. For my leaders on this call, this is something that you guys can use to really help your people elevate and grow to another level. Okay? I'm telling you, it'll be game changing. It's almost like love languages. Yep, it is like love languages. And I'm going to run a training on the love languages probably here within the next week or two. I just got to finish reading it and listening to it, because I definitely want to do a training on the love languages. But this is so important, fam. Very, very, very important. Very important. So I'm going to go over them one more time, the motivators, and then we'll wrap it up. The 7 motivators are, where did it go? Okay, so the 7 motivations of a leader. We said number 1 was purpose. We said number 2 was relationships. We said number 3 was autonomy. After autonomy, help me out here, because my notes just went blank for some reason. I don't know if they got deleted. Was progress. Number 4 was progress. Number 5 was mastery. Number 6 was recognition. And number 7 was money. That's how it goes right there. All right, fam. So those are the 7 motivations, or the 7 motivators of a leader. Now, you know what motivates you. Make sure that you feed those areas more and more and more. Okay, feed those areas. For me, it's relationships, it's purpose, relationships, and mastery. That's what keeps me going. So that's why Mornings with Nano keeps me going, because I'm serving my purpose. That's why the great relationships that I have in my business keep me going. And that's why also the mastery, the work every day, the morning routine every day keeps me going. This is what motivates me. That's why I never stop, because I'm always feeding those 3 areas in my life: purpose, relationships, and mastery. I'm always feeding those areas. If you stop feeding those areas, you'll lose the motivation. And that's why sometimes you feel lazy. That's why sometimes you don't put the work in. That's why sometimes you don't get a chance to really do the things that you truly want, because you're not motivating and you're not feeding those areas enough. Feed these areas. The 3 that I asked you guys to drop in the chat box, feed those areas, and you will see that you will always be motivated to work and put the and work on yourself and develop yourself to the best of your ability. All right, fam. So with that being said, that wraps up today's call. Type a 7 in the chat box if you guys got value from today's call. 777s in the chat box. And if you guys haven't liked this video, like this video as well. Thank you guys so much for showing love to everything that we got going on here. I'm very grateful. I hope you guys really are getting value from these calls. There's so many different trainings, but there's so much value in each and every single one. And you guys are learning so much. I'm giving you guys all the sauce here. So take it with you. These are extra trainings that you guys can use to leverage and teach, down the road to your leaders. Just as a reminder, you guys can take my trainings and run them up. But that wraps up today's call. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is at Long Live Nano. And then I also have my Mornings with Nano page, which is Mornings with Nano, just like that. Take a follow at both of them. Be careful for fake pages. I don't want you guys to fall for any fake pages. I will never ask you for money. I will never ask you to send me Bitcoin or any of that stuff. Do not send money to nobody online that you don't talk to on the phone. Okay, if you haven't FaceTime somebody on the phone, don't send money to nobody. There's too many scammers out there, not just mine, but so many other influencers out there. Okay, so make sure that you guys are looking at people's pages, looking at their likes, looking at the comments, look at everything. Please do not get scammed, please. Okay, do not send money to nobody that you have not spoke to over the phone on FaceTime. Okay, I know a lot of people sometimes fall for this stuff and it's not cool. Okay, so if you haven't liked this video, like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. And then I'm gonna do a quick prayer for us and we're gonna run it up. All right, fam, let's get out of here. Everybody bow your heads and let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for this beautiful Wednesday morning that we get a chance to wake up and serve our purpose. Every day that we get a chance to wake up is just another day for us to get closer to our goal, to becoming the best versions of ourselves and continuing to serve the mission that you've given us. Today, we don't really want to ask for anything, God. We just want to say thank you. We just want to say thank you for the guidance that you've provided us. Thank you for the wisdom that you continue to pour into us each and every single day. Thank you for the protection. Thank you for being there for us. Thank you for healing us. Thank you for forgiving us for our trespasses. Thank you for our families. Thank you for our health. Thank you for allowing us to be leaders and serve our purpose. Thank you for our awareness. Thank you for making us realize what is really important in life. Thank you for all that you're continuing to do for us on a day-to-day basis. If we don't say thank you enough, this is a prayer for us to say thank you for all. Thank you, because honestly, if it wasn't for all that you do for us on a day-to-day basis, we wouldn't be in the position that we're in today. We wouldn't have what it is that we have today. And we want you to know that you deserve all the praise, all the glory, all the recognition, because if there's anybody who deserves it, is you, Father. So we just wanted to say thank you. We don't want to ask for anything today. We just want you to know that from the bottom of our hearts, that we are all extremely thankful to have you in our life and to have someone just as amazing as you to guide us and show us the way, Father. So we thank you so much. We say thank you to everything that you've done for us, and let's go out there and have a blessed day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. 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 All right. I got you, Chelly. I'll call you. But with that being said, fam, I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you guys all have a blessed rest of your day. And with that being said, don't forget to say thank you for all that you have today. Family on IG, don't forget to say thank you for everything and enjoy. I'll see you guys. Sean, hit me up. Hit me up. I got you, bro. I think you got my number, Sean. Text me. I got you. We got it on sale right now. So take advantage because it's only there for a little bit. Okay. So I love y'all. I appreciate you guys. And I will see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Mornings with Nano from New York. All right, fam. God bless. Thank you.